maybe third elimination against a Terran player, but you don't get that many here.
Just that low? What's your number one elimination?
I think Nimbus and Catalina against Terran are just a nightmare.
They're pretty bad. Okay, well, we're in that game, ladies and gentlemen. This could potentially be your last sighting of MC this year, question mark? Is he at San Jose? I don't think you know that. I don't know that.
I'm actually not sure if he is or not, but he's MC, so I assume he's at every tournament ever.
I think he just has a place already there. He's just going to, yeah, he'll be there probably. But either way, getting into this match, it's 2-1 in favor of the guy that we'll introduce in a second. This is me again. You should never let me do this.
I think it's fantastic.
Spawning at the 6 o'clock location, the red Protoss, it's MC.
Applesauce.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, my brain is all over the place right now.
Well, so are this guy's plays, Jeff. Over in the top left of merry-go-round, our Terran player with a 2-1 lead. It is My Insanity's jjakji.
I don't think this would be the biggest upset if jjakji completes the series and goes on to win 3-1 or 3-2. But I gotta say, for a guy that we didn't see a whole lot of yesterday, but silently kind of made it into the top 3 of his group, this is really nice to see. He is handling MC very well right now, and MC is not an easy opponent. He executes very well, but he's so dangerous on the mental game. He can do anything. He can do crazy stuff at any time.
Absolutely, but jjakji's shown he can do a little bit of crazy too.
Absolutely.
You know, he had 3 medevacs full of units sitting near MC's base for a very long time. That was weird. We don't normally see people wait that long. Like sometimes they'll wait and set it up with something that they're trying to distract you with or something like that, but he didn't do that. He just let him sit there. Of course, he hit a command center in the other game that he won, so jjakji definitely playing a little bit fast too. But
he's evolving.
Yeah, this game in control, went for gas first.
Okay, and
it's
then
kind of neat.
There's the factory, so a different opening, and you know, again, a tip of the hat to both these players. They both open up differently, as so far every single game we've seen a little bit of a different opening.
Yeah, it's very refreshing to see that these guys are really mixing up their play styles, realizing that if they just continually do the same thing, the other player is good enough to be able to key into that and fight it off a little bit more easily.
Ooh. Okay, so this probe makes it, oh my gosh, actually
that shouldn't have happened. No. You can absolutely kill that probe before it scouts this. Seeing a Marine out and the amount of gas that he's mined out of that geyser, he's going to know that this is, in fact, a factory first build.
Really cute thing and subtle there from jjakji. He actually pulled 2 SCVs off the gas when the probe made its way in to try and sell misinformation, But MC is probably savvy enough to know, like you said, with that Marine it means factory. And with the 1 SCV on gas, it's almost too obvious. There's no build that at that time really has 1 SCV on the gas.
No.
And you can just check to see how much gas is mined and recognize that quite a bit has been mined already. So he should know.
In fact, he put a pylon on the edge of his base. If he doesn't go Robo, I'm going to actually be very surprised. Like, okay, if he goes Stargate, I'm fine with that. But if he makes a Twilight here, I think he definitely has enough information to call this as a factory build. So I want to see a Robo just like, he's already making plenty of Stalkers, and that's really all you need. If you have Stalkers non-stop off of 1 gateway and a Robo, you hold every single factory build very easily.
It's tough. I absolutely agree with you, but the difficulty of that is a Robo is admission that you're not going to really be aggressive for the first early part of the game. And there is that Robo, so he's hoping to deflect the factory play, but on a map like this where taking a third is predictably very difficult to do, damn near suicidal, Robo kind of, it makes you less scary and less dangerous, I feel. Whereas if you go for the aggressive Twilight Council, yes, you're in danger of, Widow Mines being dropped in your mineral field, but if you can just shoot them down or deflect the medevacs and then blink around and go for the aggression, you can just turn around and win them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That can end the game super quickly against a build like this, because when you get such a quick factory, you just don't have that many units at home. But he is adding a couple gateways, and this is actually starting to look a little bit like what we saw from Patience, which I was actually quite smitten with. I've actually been doing this on the ladder a little bit more lately, which is you see someone open up tech, you just make a bunch of Stalkers and 2 Observers, and with a bunch of Stalkers and an Observer, that kills off all the factory units that Terran generally make early on, the Widow Mines, the Hellions, and then they are going to have unupgraded Marines, so that's very easy to out-micro.
He was flirting with excellence. I love that, and it was like an evolution through the series too. You kind of noticed the MMA is a little bit slow to get the bunker, especially if he opens up with the factory and is aggressive. And we can see the same kind of thing from jjakji here. jjakji feels that with that Widow Mine, he doesn't need a bunker, so he's cutting that corner. But if you get an Observer out there and a good 8 Stalkers, you can actually just flat out kind of win the game or do enough damage to go on to win the game.
Absolutely. Like 8 Stalkers is absolutely enough. Like that's what you need. As long as you're defending at home, that's the one thing you want to make sure. And with an Observer and Photon Overcharge, he's going to be fine.
He's going to try for this.
This is fantastic from MC. I'm actually really glad that we're seeing this right now.
And it gets scouted. Okay, so jjakji knows something's taking shape. Now notice jjakji's on the right side of the map with a blob of bio there as well, but there should be a Photon Overcharge at home.
There's no bunker, Jeff.
There's no bunker. He's packing up the natural.
Yeah, you can't save the natural for sure. He's in fact going to walk right up this ramp, and that army doesn't stop these Stalkers. These Stalkers can easily out-micro this. Now the SCVs are being pulled, and he does in fact have to be careful against those.
Back at MC's natural, we do have those. The Marines just walk right up, and actually they hilariously walk. I mean, I think there's double overcharge here, so you could even just do it over at his natural as well. And these Marines are just going to try to buy time. MC's going to be very patient about it. Meanwhile, at the natural, we have the Bioforest of the Terran moving down the ramp. And it's grown large enough to challenge the Stalkers.
Absolutely. He does push those back. It was a cool move by MC, but this is like, I feel like this was kind of an even trade overall from these two players. Well, and at this point, MC's actually committed to quite a few Stalkers, so obviously does have to go Blink.
And he is going to go Blink there. If he didn't have that tech right now, I would, even with these Marines being lost and the missed mining time, the fact that Medevacs are out right now makes jjakji so scary. But Blink is being upgraded. Forge is coming in as well. And MC's going to need more of that signature defense, because here comes the Medevac into the main. He stims immediately, does jjakji, and runs in, but another Photon Overcharge says that this is not going to work, and he actually could lose the Medevac if MC targets him down, and he will. Does get the Medevac.
That's a big kill. That is a big kill to kill one of the very first Medevacs when you got maybe just slightly behind there.
There's the cost. Bunkers. He says, well, I have to make bunkers now. And if he's out on the map, again, with that Medevac hanging over MC's head, maybe he can skip bunkers again, because, again, MC, if he moves out, it's a base trade situation. But killing that force, as you pointed out, Artosis can't afford the luxury.
Well, right now he is flying out.
You did it. Thank you. You did that just for me, though.
I did. Applesauce. Okay. All right. Well, he is flying out again with
safe word. I can't think right now. Applesauce.
It is. We have an Immortal on the way here. Blink, the armor upgrade, more gateways. Again, MC playing it a little bit funny, a little bit different, but it's kind of cool. I mean, Immortals are actually extremely good against Terran. They've come back into the Protoss the composition against Terran in the last 6 months heavily. We've seen a lot more Immortals made. Like every max Protoss army actually wants a couple of Immortals normally.
I used to be the biggest hater of Immortals in PvT, just because we saw so many times, like, to rely specifically on them, you would get out-healed and then out-DPS. Oh, another great pickup here. That Medevac had nothing to do. Nicely done by MC. But Protoss have learned that, yes, they're nice to kind of anchor a force if you're going Colossus, but more importantly, Charge Lot, Immortal, Storm, Archon is just a fantastic composition, especially with great force fields, of course.
They're an awesome backbone. There's so much extra damage against those Marauders, you know, especially when you have the Colossus and you have the Storm. The Marines just get shredded, and then it's Immortals left. And it's not even about the hardened shields as much as it's about just going ahead and dealing 50 damage a shot or more if you have upgrades.
It's going to be interesting to see the changes, too. They're going to have like a manually triggered shield as opposed to just blanket hardened in Legacy of the Void, but a lot of testing to be done there. Now, MC's done, again, kind of the unthinkable. He's just taking a third on Merry-Go-Round. As the map goes, it's not a bad third. It's really far away from jjakji. To take the central third, if jjakji were to have spawned at, you know, whatever you want to call it, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock up there, that's a bad spot because, again, it can be poked from the middle and it kind of exposes your natural to drops. But here, MC says, okay, you know, again, luck's on my side. I can actually expand on this map, and he's going to do that. Yeah, it's kind of like the best case scenario. Of course, it leaves your main open to drops a little bit more because you're generally going to zone around your natural. But he's picked off 2 Medevacs. Yeah, I mean, it's playing to what he wants to do here. We should actually double underline that because look at the supplies. They're even right now, but jjakji lost 20 supply for free to Medevac pickoffs. Imagine if he had 20 supply more right now. That is a huge amount more of units that he can fly around with and either try some drops or do a bit
big frontal attack.
That makes this so much scary, but MC's sniffing something out. He moves over here, and he's got Blink, so this is there's not really much in the way of an exit. They do speed away just in time. It's going to slow down. Meanwhile, a big drop coming in MC's base, and he needs to defend that strong. He's got a couple of cannons. He should have Photon Overcharge available, but that's still 3 medevacs of units.
That's right. He's going to stim and run forward. He might get a Colossus here. In fact, he definitely is going to get a Colossus here. Picks that off in a matter of seconds. And will he get the Robo? He does, in fact, get it. That was a very successful draw.
Oh, that's a hell of a pickoff. He gets the AoE dealer, and then he gets the ability to produce it. And Minchul, or MC, is set back, but he blinks under the medevacs.
Oh, my God.
And he's grabbing a bunch of them right now. He gets 2 of the 3. And that is how you return fire. Now a 20 supply advantage, but look at this. jjakji comes flying in. Force fields are here. He's lost a lot of his medevacs. He needs to be careful. Another medevac goes down, and MC is chomping at the bit for the win. He wants to tie this up. 40 supply advantage. He blinks forward. Doesn't have the ability to reinforce, but for right now, who cares? He's on a monster mode snowball.
I am getting the sickest nerd chills in control. MC literally always knows what to do. It is so insane. Chasing down those medevacs that dealt him so much damage, dealing that counter damage, bringing the rest of his army behind, realizing that jjakji's army would be trying to save the medevacs. A fantastic move by MC, giving him a lead after losing a Colossus and his Robo.
Yeah, I mean, the hand that giveth and taketh away here. jjakji, off that aggression, scores a big lead, but because of his aggression, loses the medevacs and loses a significant chunk of his army. Now look at the lasting effect of this. jjakji cannot take a third. If he goes down into those shark-infested waters where MC is, he will just actually die. So he needs to wait. He needs to rebuild his medevacs, and in doing so, he's allowing MC to build 2 Colossus at a time. He loses 1 Robo, and like a Hydra, doubles up on it.
Well, that's how he's going to catch up to where he should be in that Colossus count. It's so crazy to watch this and see MC on 3 bases against a 2-base Terran jjakji on merry-go-round. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
is it to be the opposite? Yeah. And, it's time to pull the boys.
Here they come. Storm just now being started, and it will not actually be in effect for this first attack. MC, if you're going to advance at DreamHack Winter 2014, you're going to have to overcome one of the Terran final bosses, and that is when the SCVs rise up as one and join the fight. He's got a lot of Colossus, though.
Yeah, he's got 2 right now. He's got 2 more being created, but there is not a single Viking here.
There's not a single Viking.
He does have EMP. Oh, big EMPs come down. The SCV is actually a little bit late to the party, but it doesn't really matter because he doesn't have to pull back.
Though. He gets a whole Colossus for his stim, but in doing so, he runs into the clutches of the Zealots. jjakji, you done good, but this game, it isn't good enough with those Colossus in the backfield and the firing lasers at the top of the ramp. You've been Protoss. GG's called out.
Indeed. A fantastic series does continue. Going up to game number 5 now. MC tying it up there.
The tension is palpable.
I am so happy.
Yes.
This is actually, because yesterday we were talking about it, how like, wait a minute, these are the best players in the world. These games seem a bit lackluster, but this series is amazing. This is a fantastic series. These guys are using a huge plethora of strategies. They're all over the place. Fantastic moves on both sides. Neither player losing a beat.